Good evening, everybody. We are live here with the Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now, Not Later Super Speedway Series. Tonight, we are in the fixed K&N cars here at Talladega. As always, these guys have one quick repair, 90 laps around the track. It's going to be set for 100, but as always, you guys know that is for the NASCAR overtime in the event that we do have a green-white checker finish. The guys are required to make one pit stop per segment. We were running 3 stages, 30 laps apiece. And as we've seen week after week here with the K&N car, it doesn't seem like these are as stable as the trucks have been. But then again, as always, the trucks are running an open set, and you kind of have a little bit more option to play there. But nonetheless, these guys never, ever fail to put on a show. And being at the World Center of Speed here with these K&N cars, knowing exactly how fast they go, how well they perform in the draft, and how easily it is to screw up in the draft if you bump wrong, we're going to be in for another interesting show. I had the chance to run with these guys last Monday during their Super Speedway night there in the Xfinity cars, and I gotta tell you, being in the booth is one thing, but being on track with these crazy people, it's a different story. When you're 3 wide, about 6 deep, and you're doing over 200 miles an hour, you really don't breathe much, you don't blink much, you don't talk, you're kind of static in your death grip in the wheel. But it was a blast. Had a great time doing it, and I look forward to running again on Monday when I think we return to Talladega here. But as for tonight, looks like right now in practice, fastest time on the board is set by the series sponsor himself, the 58 of Jim Peterson with a 47.681. As we're winding down the time here in practice, joining me in the booth as always is Mike Major, and tonight we also have Cody Franklin. How you guys doing?
Wonderful, Art. Thank you for asking.
That was such a dick answer there, Cody, but we'll go with that one. As we wind into the final seconds here in practice, we will advance into qualifying. All right, so now we have advanced into qualifying here. Let's see what the drivers can do for the lap times here as we see the 2 there of Rick Seabrands. Now, interesting thing to note, tonight is the last race for the Super 7. So any of these guys with the stars next to their name, they are already in the Super 7. And that would be the 88 of Gregory Thompson, the 3 of Paul Servant, the 2 of Rick Seabrands, the 99 of Thomas LeBar, the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach, and we need also the 4 of Justin Levine. So whoever wins tonight is going to punch their ticket into the Super 7 and advance on, as we will have 2 more races after tonight's, and then we will see who will be the champion of this series here. Now, having it split up between the trucks and the cars, I think, is one of the biggest determining factors here, because we've seen and we've known that some drivers prefer the K&N car and other drivers prefer the truck, but I like having it broken up to where it's alternating every week. That way you get, especially in these knockout rounds where there's only 2 races per round to advance in, you've got 1 race locked in with the K&N and then 1 with the Camping World trucks. We see the 87 there of Raymond Rittenhauer, also now the 18 of Gary Champion. These drivers are still on their out laps. We should start seeing times trickling in here. guys are still on the outlap. This is now going to be Gary's first time lap. Early on looks like the 26 of Daniel Holloway. We're starting to see times now come down through the ticker here. And that lap right there will put the 18 of Gary champion currently in 8th position. Meanwhile, on pole right now being held by the 96 of Roddy Klein with a 53.101. Now the 88 of Gregory Thompson with a 52.505. As we're going to start seeing the second laps being the faster now. We have the 54 of Chris Akers with a 52.5 flat. And now there he is. The 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. with a 52.452. Then Dana Osborne in second with a 52.463. And now we have the 3 of Paul Servant with a 52.447. So right now we see all 3 of the Southern Thunder drivers in the top 3 spots. As we see right there, that is the 4 of Justin Levine. That is last week's race winner right there. Let's see if he can make it 2 for 2. So we see there, that is the 80 of PJ O'Leary. Right now he is being scored in 22nd position. And while these guys are winding down their qualifying laps, we are going to ask everybody to please rise as we bring out the U.S. Army Marching Band for tonight's national anthem. Job as always, which leads us into tonight's gridding order. Starting on pole, locked into the Super 7, the 3 of Paul Servant. Starting outside of him, fellow Southern Thunder teammate, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. Rolling off third will be the third and final member, the 8 of Dana Osborne. David Anderson will start fourth in that 44 machine. Gary Champion in the 18 will roll off fifth. The 29 of Matthew Welsenbach, who is also locked in the Super 7, starts sixth tonight. And last week's race winner locked in, the 4 of Justin Levine. He will roll off 7th. The 54 of Chris Akers will roll off 8th. Gregory Thompson right now will roll off 9th. He is locked in the Super 7 and is part of Radical Racing. And starting outside of that will be the 20 of Michael Coe, rounding out the top 10. The 72 of Daniel Jackson will start 11th tonight. Michael DeGroat in the 98 will roll off 12th. Corey Silva in the 24 will start 13th. Evan Black in the 12 will roll off 14th. Roddy Klein and the 96 will start from the 15th position. The 00 Dwayne Cooper will roll off 16th. Bobby Tinch, also another Radical Racing driver, will start in 17th position, as well as his teammate, the 58 of Jim Peterson, who will start 18th. Chris Brown rolls off 19th in the 16th machine. Cole Borgstadt in the 90 will round out the top 20. Daniel Holloway, who I feel like shit for wrecking accidentally last Monday during the race, will roll off in 21st. The 80 of PJ O'Leary will start 22nd. Rick Seabrands, locked in, will start 23rd in the 2 machine. Christopher Berry in the 95 will start 24th. Raymond Rittenhauer rolls off 25th in the 87. Garrett Robinson in the 56. 26, Jimmy Coleman in the 48 will start 27th. Thomas DeBar, who's also locked in that 99 machine, will roll off 28th. And rounding out the field in the 60 will be the Lance Marsh in 29th. So as these guys are on the backstretch here, we are less than a lap away from taking the green flag here at Talladega. What do you guys think we're going to see in the early going stage here?
Well, I hope I'm going to see a little bit of give and take at the very beginning. You got 90 laps, I believe, here tonight. If that's correct, you can correct me on that. And it's a long race. Plenty left for later in the race, but hopefully we'll see getting to feel the track, getting to feel the drivers around them. It does look like you got the 3 teammates of Southern Thunder racing 1, 2, 3 starting off. So I'd like to see if they would work together and get one line formed up, or if they're going to maintain both lanes.
Well, you are correct. It is 90 laps tonight, and typically we usually see them shuffle around. They don't like staying in one lane too long, but it's always a good show when you've got Dale Jr., as we refer to him, up there starting on the outside front row. Because him combined with David Anderson makes a pretty good restart here, as we see the pace car. Well, we see Brett on there. He's barely over the wheel again. Mike, what's the beer status on him?
He's only 2 beers deep so far.
Nope, not enough, so he's heading down pit road. The 3 of Paul Servant's going to lead us here into the initial start of the race, and let's see how clean we can get through stage 1.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. We are live and underway here at Talladega Super Speedway with the Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now, Not Later Super Speedway Series.
Looks like that bottom line's got about 4 cars stacked together, while the top line is not quite formed yet.
We get a look right there at the 00 Dwayne Cooper, rocking the anti-monkey butt powder, behind him the 58 of Jim Peterson. And these guys are still getting up to speed here, so it does take about 2 or 3 laps for these cars to get completely up to draft speed. We are going to pull the drop down and see where they're at right now. Right now, Dwayne's running about 194 miles an hour as he's going to duck in behind the 58 of James Peterson, behind him the 95 of Christopher Berry, and then we see right there the 20, that is Michael Coe. So Dwayne is going to jump up there because they are teammates right there. Those are both Drive for Autism drivers there, as well as the 95. So we got 3 teammates right there, nose to tail. Now, if they can get together and hook up, as we see David Anderson, who I believe he's also another one of the DFA drivers. So I know on Monday nights he is. So that's a good mix up there up front. As we see 200 miles an hour. Yep, we'll get 201 at the line, so 203 going into the corner. That's about right on par for what we see with these K&N cars. It does take a while to get them up to speed, but once they get up to speed, they're a rocket ship. We see right now it's still the 3 and the 8 hooked up on the inside, and the 81, the 44, and the 4 on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like we got about 6 cars that are really stacking together, and the rest of them's just kind of falling in line.
I see Justin, being last week's race winner, really doesn't have to do much. He's already locked in, but it never really hurts to try and go for 2 in a row. Justin is definitely one of the guys. I've raced with him a lot in the official series, and I know he likes winning. He likes going fast. He's usually really, really good at wreck avoidance, and he's really good at holding the line. We've done a lot of the NISs together, especially when it came to plate track racing. But I think right now his biggest problem is he's going to have to get around the 8, the 3, and the 81.
A lot of snaking towards the back of that pack.
Take a look here quick at the weather. The track, 103 degrees, which isn't too abnormal. We see that a lot, which for the fixed racing, that's not really going to play a big factor. I think right now it's just people, whether they want to be aggressive or if they just kind of want to chill out a little bit. That's where we tend to see the snaking. If somebody lets up, that can easily set into effect the domino of everybody having to move around. But I am seeing the typical little bit of side slam that these cars do get in the corners, and that is because of the iRacing build. The cars used to not do this, but after we had that update, it seems that the cars kind of side draft a little bit more difficult, and when you're behind somebody, the cars get a little bit more floaty, especially when you get a bump. It actually lifts the back of the car up, and it can adversely affect it. So seeing the rattlesnaking doesn't really worry me too much, as long as we don't see it go from a somebody having a being a blinker in a turn signal situation. You see a good solid bump there by the 8 of Dana Osborne. Right now the upper line seems to have a little bit more of an advantage. They just really can't get the run through the center of the corner. So I'm looking at it right now as we are coming to complete lap 6 and start lap 7. The 3 of Paul Severant with 4 in the books, and the 81 now at 2 in the books. He's going to be scored with leading that lap. You can see a little bit of that snaking going on there on the backstretch, which a lot of it is just some people wanting to either step out and cool their car just a little bit, or wanting to switch lines.
And sometimes you get people in the back that's just riding those wreck avoidance, but you also get people back there that's wanting to go to the front, and they're trying to push those guys up to the front so they can catch on that lead draft.
And that's why we see a lot of the snaking there. Usually we do see probably about a dozen drivers that are playing it safe. 90 laps here is a lot of time in the car. Our average coverage is about 2 hours, so there's a lot of seat time involved there, and you don't really want to get up in the front and potentially be part of the big one if it happens, or be part of a wreck period and have to use your one and only quick repair early on in the race. So we always see the typical ones. Plus, the way I'm seeing it right now with all these cars on the bottom side, the strategy that has to be put into play with a fixed setup here with the mandatory pit stop, that's a lot more, it seems to be more in effect with the K&N cars, since you don't have a specific advantage over anybody else like you would with the open set, having a faster truck than somebody else. Right now everybody's on equal playing fields, so before lap 30 comes, we're going to start seeing some early takers, some mid takers, and then usually we get a few that are always the late takers to pit road. But it looks like out front the 81 has dropped down in front of the 3, so that's going to open the outside line up for the 44 of David Anderson, as he's got the 4 of Justin Levine, the 24 and the 12 behind them.
Looks like the 90 of apologize because I probably butcher this. Borgstad has lost the draft, along with the 95 of Christopher Berry is also falling off the pace.
They might have tried, maybe he got shuffled out of line or something, and it doesn't take long, unfortunately, with these cars to lose the draft. We noticed that before you could be about 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds behind the car in front of you and still have the draft, and now we've seen that draft really is, it's a lot harder to stay there. If you don't really stay up on a car, or you don't have more than 2 cars, you're going to lose the draft, and you're going to lose it pretty quick. Because right now we see the front 5 there starting to gap out just a little bit over the rest of the field here. So we're focusing right around 9th place. Oh, nice save there by the 44, David Anderson, but he does go into the wall, along with the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr.
That was nice by all those drivers, separating, keeping it from being a big one.
And no caution will come out, so we will stay green flag. That's definitely going to hurt the 44 and the 81. No, I apologize for that. That was the 4, not the 81. They both are running pretty much the same identical paint scheme. And it appears that that was exactly what we preach about so much, is just the bump draft gone wrong in the corner. But great job by the 44, David Anderson. So when we saw that on screen, that car was completely sideways. He was able to straighten it out, but unfortunately he did put it hard into the outside wall there, along with the 4. So as we stay green flag, it looks like the 18 of Gary Champion has made his way around the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., and that will score the first lap in the book tonight for the 18. Now we're definitely going to have to see the 44 race a little bit more aggressively. You know, the 4 of Justin Levine, he's already locked in, so he's good to go. So being where he is isn't exactly a bad thing. But with the 44 of David Anderson not being locked into the Super 7, that's really going to hurt. He's really going to have to hustle and hopefully get back up there in contention later on in the race to try and make his way in. We see the outside line really kind of died off now. So now we see the 8 of Dana Osborne. He's going to make his way up, as well as the 16 of Chris Brown. Now Dana's going to drop back down again. I think we're going to see that, we see the 44 of David Anderson, who was involved in that incident there. He's going to bring that 44 down pit road and more than likely use that quick repair, or he might sit on pit road depending on how much time there is for repairs. You can see the damage there too on the 88 of Gregory Thompson.
Looks like everybody's falling in one big single line after that little mishap, and everybody's starting to gather everything back up.
Well, that's also indicative too that we're going to start seeing a lot of people peeling off for pit road too. Usually, when we see that 2 wide start to bleed off, first round of pit stops are usually only about a lap or 2 away. But you never know with these guys. They're unpredictable, but that's what makes them so much fun. They're not afraid to take a 3 wide. They're not afraid to get aggressive when they need to. And you see right there the good center punch that the 88 does have there on the rear of that Chevy Impala. I don't think it's really going to affect him too much as he is tucked in behind a car in front and behind, so he should be able to maintain speed no problem. But these guys, like I said, they're no stranger to taking it 3 wide. I think at one point Monday we were 4 wide and nobody even so much as batted an eye. As we see, it looks like we're coming up with some lap traffic here.
Gary's gonna have to navigate around a few cars, but it's not too bad. There's just a couple that are sporadic. Hopefully they'll maintain one lane.
And the first one that will be going the lap down here will be the 95 of Christopher Berry. He is one of the 2 cars that lost the draft early on, so see Christopher staying high up so the rest of the field can go by easily, as there's a few cars out there 3 wide or 2 wide, but they will be going 3 wide here through turns 3 and 4 as they clear the 95. Now hopefully he can drop down and get in on the tail end of this pack here. Right now we're looking right at 7th on back. 7th right now going to the 8 of Dana Osborne. 34 Chris Akers behind him in 8th. And now we see the 44 is about to go 2 laps down now. It does look like he is taking a quick repair on that 44 machine. So now Dave has to be very, very careful for the remainder of this race as he has burned the only lifeline that he had. So he's definitely going to have to do a lot of heads-up racing. As right now we take a look at the 8th place or 9th place of Gregory Thompson. So we see pretty much everybody's still rocking the single file here as we are coming up to about 10 laps to go here in stage 1. We see the taker on pit road. That's the 48 of Jimmy Coleman, who's going to make his way down pit road.
Justin Levine, last week's winner, is also down pit road.
It's anybody's guess now on when we see people start dropping down, if they're going to come in early or if they're going to wait for about 1 to 2 laps before the segment ends here. We've seen a few takers already, but we haven't seen the majority flood off yet. As they come to the line again, it'll be the 18 of Gary Champion leading his 8th lap of the night, and right now he is the lap leader. Right behind him, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. with 7 laps led, the 3 of Paul Servant with 4. I fully expect to see some of these guys dropping down here in the next lap or 2. And there they go. As we've got a big group of cars now coming down, and we apparently have a little bit of an incident on pit road. So you see the 48 of Jimmy Coleman going a lap down right there. Appears that the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach sustained a little bit of damage there getting down on the pit road. There's a little bit of contact between him and the 54 of Chris Akers getting their woed up down on pit road, so hopefully it doesn't have too big of an implication for him. Now we see more drivers coming down. Meanwhile, out front, the 18 of Gary Champion is going to lead yet another lap as we see the 29 there of Matthew Welsenbach making his way off of pit road. As we see the 00 there of Dwayne Cooper right now being scored in 6th position. Still seeing a lot of drivers that have not come down. Now we have the whole lead pack coming down pit road this time, so this is going to cycle some things around. As we wait for everybody to come down here, this is the entire lead pack coming down to their stalls. See the 81, the 3, the 8, the 18, the 00. 26, we see the 99 of Thomas Barr leaving pit road. There's the 26 right there, Daniel Holloway. He's down the way, the 00, the 3, the 81, the 8. Oh, it looks like Dwayne got a little loose there. Had to gather it up, but no harm, no fouls. He's gonna make his way off of pit road. So that will hand the race lead over momentarily right now to the 81 of Mark Jorgensen. It appears the 80 of PJ O'Leary had a little trouble on pit road there as well, so not the only driver. Maybe the Titans and the crews didn't do a good job cleaning off pit lane, or maybe it might be blame on the pit team for not having the stalls cleared out good enough. But a couple instances there, one getting on pit road and a couple getting off of pit road. As we are nearing the end of stage 1 here, it's still showing the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. as our race leader.
Yeah, it looks like Southern Thunder Racing won the battle off pit road there. All three of them lined up 1, 2, 3.
Well, I was watching as they were doing their pits there, and the 3 of Paul Servant was done before the 81 of Mark Jorgensen. The 3 waited for the 81 to go first. That way, the 8 could get in line behind him. So there was a little bit of strategy on pit road leaving so that they could line up the way that they needed to get back off and regain the lead here. As we see the 2 there of Rick Seabrands being pushed by the 66 of Bobby Tinch, last season's champion. Now this will be a battle for the lead here. If the 2 can get around the 81 here, that will score Rick Seabrands as the race leader. Right now it's 3 on 2. You see the 00, Dwayne Cooper once again. You see the 87 there of Raymond Rittenhauer and the 00, Dwayne Cooper, both making their way back off pit road again. Meanwhile, it does not look like we're gonna see the 2 getting out in front of these 3 cars on the inside. If they can get help from the 26 there, Daniel Holloway, and make it a 3-on-3 battle there, I think we might be able to see a little bit more progress being made. But right now, I think the 26 is kind of just hanging back, or he might actually be losing the draft a little bit. Oh, as we see a little bit of blinking there out of the 81. Oh, you see the 80 up there. Heavy damage to the nose of that Budweiser Chevy. This is definitely going to help the 2 of Rick Seabrands. If that 81 keeps blinking, what happens when the car blinks?
I think he's got it.
He's very, he does have it cleared, but he wants to bring his Sim Nation Racing teammate with him. He's not going to leave the 66 hanging, but what happens when a car blinks out like that, not only can the car behind you get inside of you, literally, but you also momentarily lose the draft there. If the blinking gets really bad, the sim doesn't register that there's a car in front of you. Say you're the 3 of Paul Servant. The sim doesn't recognize that the 81 is in front, therefore you lose the draft that you were having. So it appears that the 81's connection has stabilized now, so I think they're in the clear. Had it not, actually not really looked, the 3 is inside of the 81 right there on the backstretch, so that's potentially a dangerous situation there, because anytime you see 2 cars merge into one, that's not necessarily a good thing. But here in the closing laps of stage 1, is it going to be Southern Thunder or is it going to be Sim Nation Racing here? As we still see the 2 and the 66 trying to make that outside work, and as they come to the line this time, still not enough. It's going to be the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. leading his 13th lap. Just 2 cars is not enough to do it on the outside line here at Talladega. As now we see the 3 of Paul Servant. He's going to go to the outside here and try and go for a stage win. Now, Paul is already locked in to the Super 7. The 81, as well as the 8, are not.
This also could be a team move and to slow that outside down, as it looks like it has.
Definitely a move out of the old Intimidator's book right there. Is if you can. Whoa! Teammate on teammate there.
Caution.
Looks like that was
That's
contact
real quick,
from
and
the
then tell me
8
what you got.
into the 81. That was going to be a bump gone bad there by the 8 of Dana Osborne. We're going to back up and take a look at it here, but it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's going to be a bump gone bad, and that will end stage 1 here.
And I don't know about you, Art, but I was kind of holding my breath with him blinking like that. I just knew it was going to happen.
It's always inevitable here. So we're going to watch here. We're going to see that I think it might have been a connectivity issue. Wow, look at that. We're also going to back it up too, and we're going to go on board with the 81 and see what it looked like from there. So we're riding on board with the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. here. Now watch what happens when he gets turned. That's definitely something with the 81's connection, because you can see he went straight through the 2 car. Normally that would have collected another car. The 2 of Rick Seabrand's would have ate it with the 81, but definitely something going on with the 81's connection still. But with that caution coming out, that is going to end stage 1, so we will hand stage 1 victory over to the 3 of Paul Servant. Now, right now, looking in the top 5, we've got 3 of the Super 7 in the top 5, the 3, the 2, and the 66. So them coming down pit road right now. See everybody come down and probably just maybe 2 tires and a splash and go. We also have wave bys taking place right now. See, right sides are up, or left sides rather. So 4 tires, 4 tires. See the 81, he has used his quick repair. As everybody races off of pit road there. While we are under caution here, we're going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break, and then we will return with the action live here at Talladega Superspeedway. we return, not much has changed. We are still under caution here at Talladega. See more drivers making their way back down pit road again here. Alright, lights will stay on, so we will go at least 2 more times around the track here.
Looks like the 81 was checking his connection there, making sure everything was fixed and good to go. Run up, giving the 3 a tap.
Yeah, that was a serious problem. If he stayed like that, he ended up in the wrong car. He could have probably taken out most of the field. Could have been a big wreck. So it's a good heads-up move there by the 81 and his teammate, the 3.
Oh, especially when you know you're having connection issues, you definitely want to make sure that they have sorted themselves out, and what better time to do it than under caution. Alright, hopefully we get to see the lights on that Mustang pace car go out, and we will be 1 lap away from restarting this race. Alright, lights are out on the pace car, so that means we're going to double the field back up. We're going to go through a quick run through here of the top 10. Restarting with the lead will be the 3 of Paul Servant, the 72 of Daniel Jackson will restart second, the 8 of Dana Osborne third, the 98 of Michael DeGroat fourth, 2 of Rick Seabrands fifth, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. sixth, Jim Peterson, the 58, 7th, the 26 of Daniel Holloway 8th, the 88 of Greg Thompson 9th, and Chris Brown in the 16 will round out the top 10. And as always, on restarts, we go to none other than the Crank It Up camera. A good look at the nose there of the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. And we see there the 8 of Dana Osborne riding on the apron. He did receive an EOL for claiming responsibility of the caution. As we get ready to restart this race, let's see what the 72 And the 80 or the 98 can do there on the outside line as they will be restarting nose to tail. Actually, yeah, and then they got the 2 and the 58 behind them. This is going to be an interesting restart as the pace car makes its way down. 3 Paul Servant's going to lead us into the restart zone, and we will get stage 2 underway here. See them bunching up. Now Talladega is that deceiving track because the flag stand and the line is
green flag,
not
green
the
flag.
same as Daytona, but green flag is out. We are back underway. Stage 2, Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now, Not Later Super Speedway Series. It appears that the 72 and the 98 are teammates, so this is nice to see teammates working together with each other. So that's going to be strategy between the 2 of them versus what we're going to see from the inside line. So you see these cars still getting up to speed. They're not quite up there yet. It does take about 3 to 4 laps for them to get up to full speed as they cross the line right about 196. I think next time by we'll see them at about 201, 202. And the 00 Dwayne Cooper was about to make it 3 wide there.
But no, he's not afraid to. He likes that 3 wide.
We get a good radiator check there. Whoa, we see the 81's connection going again. He's going to drop to the apron there. Very smart move by the 81 of Martin Jorgensen there. That could have been very bad, but he did the right thing and he pulled that 81 down the apron. He's going to drop to the back of the field, which that's not going to help his teammate there, the 3 of Paul Servant. As we see the 72 and the 98 were both able to clear, and we are 3 wide as they come to the line here. So stage 2, we're starting to see a little bit more aggressive racing. As word is, the 81's ping shot over 400, so definitely a smart idea, and just good racing etiquette for the 81 there to pull down on the apron and not make that any worse than it could have been. As we see right now, the 58 of Jim Peterson and the 88 of Gregory Thompson, they're trying to make their way up on the outside line around the 72 and the 98. So a little bit of good news that came out of this is the 8 of Dana Osborne getting the black flag or the EOL penalty there for bringing out the caution. He has hooked up with the 81, so at least 2 teammates are together. So right now we see 3 wide, the 00. He is odd man out with the 48. They're both going to squeak in there in front of the 44, Dave Anderson.
He's wanting to so badly go. He just can't get any takers right now.
Well, you know Dwayne. Dwayne doesn't care if it's 3 wide, 4 wide. So we see some 3 wide. It looks like 2 team cars are going to get shuffled out of line there. I think that was the 24 and the 12. And now I think the 00. Nope, they're going to move up.
Got the 2, 24 and 00.
00's, nope, screw you. I'm going back down on the bottom. See you later.
But they got the 48 coming.
So we're going to be 3 wide here going on in the backstretch. And it does not appear that that is going to work out for that 3rd line right now. As everybody's, yep, we're seeing a lot of connectivity issues tonight. So we see now the 4, the 44, they're going to come up and they're going to try to take spots away from the 24 and the 12. As that 3rd line is not going to be friendly right now. As now we see the 00, Dwayne Cooper. He's going to jump back up there again. See a little bit of damage there on the driver's side door of the 44. He's got a nice little donut there on it, some scuffing, but nothing too bad. As right now the battle is still going on between the 58 of Jim Peterson and the 72 of Daniel Jackson. Now, Jim has led a lap, and it looks like with the help of the 88, he's going to lead another lap as he's going to be scored as the race leader that time by. So that'll be 2 in the books now tonight for the 58.
We have Justin Levine now leading that top groove as he jumped up in front of Dwayne in the 00, and they are coming forward.
I don't know about you guys, but I smell something coming. I smell the big one coming. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Oh, 4 wides, we got the 26 down the apron. I think that's because of his connection, but...
That's going to hurt that bottom line.
Oh, and he almost made a little contact coming back up on there, too. But yeah, definitely, there's going to be a big upset on the bottom groove there. And look at that. We see the 8 and the 81. They're marching their way back up. It's going to be interesting to see how Junior's connection stays through all this. But they're... Oh, my God. Look at this. Now, this is right here. This is exactly what we talk about. These guys are crazy. As you see the 58, he's going to drop down. But they're still going to stay 3 wides. It's going to be a 3-way between the 88, the 58, and the 4 as they come through 3 and 4 here. Who is going to lead this lap? It's definitely, I don't think it's going to be that 3rd groove. I think right now the middle lane is going to, might have the advantage, but we do have more cars on the bottom side. But side draft works wonders here. And at the line, once again, barely, it'll be the 88 of Gregory Thompson. So middle groove for the win that time around.
The 8 and 81. Just
apparently Jim Peterson said, watch this and hold my bong.
It is getting really dicey up there in the front. Just everybody switching lanes here and there.
I'm loving this right now. This is plate track racing the way it's supposed to be done. We are still 3 wide for the lead. Now it's the 88 as he's able to get around the 58. So it's going to be between the 88, the 54, and the 4. And I think we might see the 54 edge out on this one. But nope, it'll be the 88 of Gregory Thompson leading another lap. That'll be his 2nd of the night. Now you gotta wonder, like being further back in the pack, seeing that the first 3 rows are 3 wide, what that kind of makes you do a little bit further back in the back. So you see the 81 there, he's gotten a little bit ahead of his teammate, the 8. He's hooked back up behind his other teammate, the 3 there, Paul Servant. Now we see Dana, he's back a little bit further. I wonder what happened there, they got him separated.
The 20 fell in place in that, and it just kind of separated him. He had to fall back to get in line. He was left out by himself.
And that time at the line, give that one to the 4 of Justin Levine. He's going to lead that one from the high side. That is his 2nd lap of the night here. Or actually, no, that's his 1st lap of the night. As they continue to battle 3 wide down the backstretch here. There's a lot at stake here for the drivers not already locked into the Super 7 here, so they got to do everything they can do. But remember, folks, we still do have one more stage to complete here after this one is over. So I think we're going to see the 3 wide calm down a little bit as we've seen the upper groove has worked some. And, of course, as soon as I say that, more people jump out there. I think I do that on purpose just to make sure that they go 3 wide longer. See the 48, the 4, the 00, and I believe the 12 up there on the 3rd line. The 54, the 44, the 3, and the 81 in the middle. The 88, the 58, the 72. And look at the run that inside and the outside line is getting on the backstretches. The 54 easily able to clear the 88. Now that might be a problem as you see the 00 give the 4 a bump there in turn 3. That might be a bit of a hindrance there for the 54 because the lower line is going to have to check up a little bit since he got so far out ahead of him. But right now we see the 44 David Anderson looking to capitalize on that as he is going to come across the line as our leader that lap, so score a lap in the books for the 44 of David Anderson. That's his first lap, and now he's going to drop to the bottom. So that's going to open the door in the middle lineup for the 3 of Paul Servant, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., and the 20 of Michael Coe. Meanwhile, on the outside, we have the 48 of Jimmy Coleman, and it looks like the third line started to dissolve as now we see the 3, the 81, they are both clear. They have dropped down to the bottom. That's going to open up the middle groove for the 20 there of Old Pondo. He's going to see what he can do there with the 4 of Justin Levine. It looks like he's got a little bit of damage there on the back of that 20 machine, but we see the 48 and the 00 not making any headway there up on the high of the line, so they might come back down, but they've got to find the spot to get in to do so first. But that time around, it will be the 3 of Paul Servant leading that lap. That will be his 11th. Behind him, the 81 with 13, the 44 with 1 lap led, the 88 with 3, the 4 with 1, the 58 with 2, 72 with 5. Several leaders tonight. We'll go ahead and throw a quick summary up right now. We have only had 1 caution, which ended the stage because it did come out, and we do have the 00 Dwayne Cooper in the wall there. We have 46 laps. Oh, wow. Looks like the 00 may have made some contact there with the 24. We've had 18 lead changes, 1 caution, which was the stage-ending one, and we've got 46 now to be 47 laps in the books here. Top 5 consisting of the 3 of Paul Servant, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., the 54 of Chris Akers, the 88 of Gregory Thompson, and the 44 of David Anderson. So now as we're getting close to the end of stage 2 here, it's going to be interesting to see how the strategy plays out here as they go for their 2nd round of mandatory pit stops. So you can see a little bit of movement there from the back end of that 3 car when the 81 made a little bump there in the corner. Now, these cars don't really, well, actually they flat out hate it. Now, Monday night when I ran with these guys in the Xfinity Series cars, it was very, very, very unpredictable what the car was going to do when you got bumped in the corner. Sometimes if they knew what they were doing, they hit you square on, you were fine. But there's a lot of times when we were 2 and 3 wide going down the straightaway that I could feel the back of my car getting lifted up, and a lot of people talking about floating as we go 3 wide once again here. We've got the 2 teammates, the 72 of Daniel Jackson and the 98 of Lucas Road. They're going to try and go again. It's quickly going to dissolve though, and easily no contest at the line. Once again, it'll be the 3 of Paul Servant leading his 14th lap, so that'll put him ahead of his teammate there. And also, he is leading the most laps with 14. Mark Jorgensen Jr.'s 2nd with 13. And then the next closest would be the 18 of Gary Champion with 10. As we got a big group of pit stops going on. It's a big group of cars coming down for their mandatory pit stops here, so we're going to see probably the lead pack coming down here within the next lap or so. So everybody pretty much single file here. Ooh, you see a little bit of squiggly there. So no surprise to see these two once again working with each other, and the bump working that time. See the two of Rick Seabrand's, the 66 of Bobby Chinch getting ready to come down for their service. So Simnation Racing hitting now. Right now we still have the 3 and the 81 out up front here, as they're going to come up on all these guys who have just taken their servicing here. See there the 80 of PJ O'Leary. He's going to make his way on the pit road.
Just taking a look here, with them running single file, they're actually about 3 miles, 4 miles an hour slower. That's how much that side draft has on this group of cars.
And I think it's mainly more so with the K&Ns. Like these cars are just draft monsters. Like with the trucks, the Xfinity cars, we don't necessarily see that much of a speed difference, except for with the trucks because of that being an open set. When it comes to fixed racing, these K&N cars right here, it's just absolutely amazing what you can do with side draft. And I mean, these cars, even though they have been nerfed down, so we have all the leaders coming down pit road right now, except for the 44 and the 20. Those are both DFA Motorsports drivers. We've got Southern Thunder, all 3 drivers down. I also see the 12 there, he's on pit road. As we see top 3 coming in, everybody's getting in their box. Also the 18 of Gary Champion. Looks like that was a gas and go for everybody there, as they're all going to make their way off of pit road. As we cycle back around.
Now the final 3 look like they're coming down.
Right now, out front is the 90. Well, no, it's going to be the 44 of David Anderson. And then there we go. Now everything's updated. After services and everything have come around, that's going to inherit the lead back over the 44 of David Anderson, the 20 of Michael Coe second, and now we're going to see things switch around just a little bit, as I believe they're going to come down for their services. As we are nearing the end. There they are right there. As we look at some potential movers here, we're going to go right around here, the 66 of Bobby Chinch. We can see these guys are absolutely ripping. They're flying around to catch up to the lead pack, as they have caught him now.
I just held my breath.
Wow, that was crazy right there.
I wasn't even driving. I had a slot skip in the heart.
I think we might have cleaned up aisle 20 there.
Definitely clean up in my seat.
Because right now, we see the 66. That is the battle for 6th position right there. Justin Levine on the inside trying to take it away. You can see the gap there between the lead pack and then the rest of these guys. And they are still, they're coming. It ain't going to be but a few more laps before they're right up there.
Just looking at speeds, they're about 2 miles an hour faster than that lead group right now. No, they're running 206. Justin Levine just got clocked at 206. And this lead pack's at 200, 201.
Well, they need to make their moves really, really fast because we only have a few laps left here in segment 2 of the race. So these guys want to get up there and challenge for it. They need to kick those things into overdrive real quick. There should be 3 laps until we put segment 2 here in the books and get ready for the 3rd and final stage of the race. You see the 00 there, Dwayne Cooper. He's going to get passed by the field. Right now he's being scored in 17th position right now. First car a lap down. And he has also used his quick fix, so now he's got a clean anti-monkey butt powder. And I like what's on the back of his panels. The same thing that's on the back of his truck. It says butt hurt on the back. Now, of course, that's on the bottle as well, but
looks like Justin Levine has caught that lead pack and is on the outside of the 12.
Meanwhile, as we go back up towards the front here, oh, we see some big damage there on the, I believe that's the 24. Oh, wow, some heavy right side damage on the 24.
Caution,
And
might
that
be
right there
oil
will
on the
end
outside
the
of the start-finish
stage.
line.
So hand the second segment stage, whatever the hell you want to call it, win, over to the 3 of Paul Servant. And once again, our top 3, 1, 2, 3, all Southern Thunder. As it was Paul Servant, Mark Jorgensen, and then Dana Osborne in the 8. Justin Levine 4th, Bobby Kinch 5th, Gary Champion 6th, Evan Black 7th, Matthew Welsenbach 8th, Chris Brown 9th, and Raymond Rittenhauer rounds out the top 10. We see some wave rounds taking place right now. The 00 of Dwayne Cooper. While we're under caution here, once again, we are going to take a quick commercial break and then we will return with the action here. All right, folks, we're back and we are riding on board with our current race leader, the 4 of Justin Levine. Now you can see that little asterisk above his name. That indicates that he is locked in to the Super 7 round. You can hear that once again he's clutching it. Actually, no, he's killing that car again. We saw him doing this last week with the truck. He was actually cutting the ignition and cycling it back and on and off. A lot of people just pull the clutch in and let it just roll, but Justin is actually killing the car and refiring it.
And even when I don't have to save fuel, it just makes these pace laps go by so much faster to have something else to do other than ride around it.
Oh yeah, it puts your mind on something. Because at least you know you have to hold that clutch pedal in or something, or you have to keep refiring buttons to keep the car going. You don't want to get too far behind the pace car or any of that stuff. It's definitely, it does get very boring riding around under pace laps here at a super speedway track, especially when I think the pace speed here is 70. So to go around a 2.66 mile track at 70 miles an hour, that's 65, yeah, 65 miles an hour here. So yeah, 65 miles an hour around over a 2.5 mile track. That's for about 4 or 5 laps. You gotta find something to occupy some time, and hell, why not save some fuel while you're at it? So hopefully we see the lights on the pace car go out, unless Bref Bodine has been drinking a little bit more. Mike, what's his beer status?
We just checked. He's up to a 2.7.
Wow. And he was still able to fire off the button. We are 1 to green here. We're going to double the field back up. The 4 of Justin Levine is going to be leading us into the restart, followed by the 18 of Gary Champion, the 12 of Evan Black, the 66 of Bobby Tinch, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer, the 2 of Rick Seabrands, the 88 of Gregory Thompson, the 58 of Jim Peterson, and the 99 of Thomas Abar is going to round up the top 10. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 already locked in drivers in the top 10. And the last one is in 11th. So literally we have all 6 of our Super 7s. And now we're going to see who's going to punch in and get the final spot for the Super 7 here, as the 18 of Gary Champion is up for grabs, the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer, the 58 of Jim Peterson, now the 81, that's not for position because he hasn't made enough starts, as well as the 12, he has not made enough starts either, but we're going to see who's going to be lucky enough to bring home the W here tonight, as we are less than a quarter of a lap away from firing off the final segment here at Talladega Super Speedway. So you get ready, once again we're going to go into a crank it up restart here.
If these guys can still keep it clean, only 1 traditional caution.
As Brett Bodine has made it down pit road, even though we probably saw about 4 of them. We see them coming into the restart zone. There's the double hash marks on the wall, so they're entering. Green flag is back out. Final stage is underway here at Talladega Super Speedway. Who's going to bring home the win tonight in Cyber Racing's Homes Now Not Later Super Speedway Series League? Looks like we already had the check. It did appear that either he didn't go, or maybe he might have missed a shift there.
That's a completely different league there, Art.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that, but thanks for reminding me.
Looks like Gary Champion's the lone man up there by himself.
And as we come out of
He's
turn
not
4.
gonna
We're going to
find a
cycle
hole.
back. Oh, he's got help though on the way. He's got the 44 of David Anderson, the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer. He's definitely got some help on the way. The 58 of Jim Peterson, the 16 of Chris Brown, the 95 of Christopher Berry. So we're definitely seeing that outside line already starting to come back into play. But the question is, how long are people going to be willing to ride before they we potentially see some more 3 widing in here? Because there is a lot up for grabs tonight here. We do have one slot that everybody is fighting for to get into the Super 7. And right now, if the 4 or anybody who's already got it with those asterisks, any of those drivers win, it goes to the next closest scoring position. That'll be scored as your last entry to punch their ticket into the Super 7.
Looks like Odell Jr. himself's moved up to the top line.
See power move there by the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. He goes to the outside. He got the 2 of Rick Seabrins with him there, and he's going to drop down in front. So we got Bass Pro in front of Bass Pro. And no, they are not affiliated. 2 ass trackers flying down the backstretch. Now we see the 18 of Gary Champion there giving a little bit of help to the 2 of Rick Seabrands. Let's see if Rick can get that Yeti, as Rick is their team is the official sponsor for Brett Bodine's cooler. Brett is rocking an amazing, absolutely amazing. I got to actually see it before the race started this week. He's got a cooler that's built into the passenger seat of that pace car, and it will hold 60 cans of beer.
Yeah, I talked to him about pricing, and it was astronomical for that. And some more blinking from Dale Jr. and Jorgensen.
As we see that once again, he's going to pull off again. Smart move there by the 81. Don't want to see the big one happen because of a connectivity issue. And I know it. For him to do that is got to be excruciating, because I know how Mark races and how he likes to be up front. That's got to kill him to not be able to be running up front because he's got some shit going down with his internet. And our behind the scenes, how I get all this weird information is we got Mike creeping the interwebs, doing what he does behind the scenes. Every time...
Caution,
we got a caution.
Any feeling about the car at all?
Alright, looks like this caution is going to be brought to you by another bad bump between the 90 and the 24. So that'll be Cole Borgstadt and Corey Silva. And that's apparently going to be a teammate bump gone bad. Now we're going to look back a little bit here and see what exactly transpired. We're going to go on board with the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. because that captures everything. There we see it right there. It looks just like a hook. Great job by Mark dropping down to the apron. No other cars involved. Everybody checks up. And it appears that just teammates may have gotten a little bit miscommunicated with each other there. And looky here. The 2 of Rick Seabrands being scored as your race leader, as he was able to get around the 4 of Justin Levine at the time that the caution came out. So that's going to give Rick some more laps led, as he's got 3 in the book so far tonight, as he's going to bring us down pit road. Everybody's going to be coming down pit road here, so we're going to give you complete pit coverage here. We see everybody now coming down to the boxes. like we had a little bit of contact there between the 81 and the 87 on pit road, but everybody, as you can see, pit road is probably about as safe as playing in the middle of the interstate. It's a very dangerous place to be, especially with the, I believe the rule is still in play here too, that you have only 2 boxes that you're allowed to come down. You're not allowed to do the double file stuff here down pit road, because you're not supposed to do that in real racing, but nonetheless, a little bit of contact between the 81 and the 87 does not appear that it's going to be anything more than just a little bit of superficial damage. So once again, while we are under caution, we're going to cut to our quick sponsor break here and return with the action at Talladega. Hopefully Brett's alcohol level will be up even higher and we'll be closer to restarting this race.
He's chugging right now.
Lights are not out on the pace car yet, so we will hopefully see them go out as they come across the stripe. Laps are whittling down. We have 19 to go here in the final stage. And it's going to be interesting because right now our front 2, as well as 4th place, 7th place, they are all already locked in, so it's going to be interesting on this restart to see what exactly is going to transpire and how, even if somebody who already is locked in wins, we're going to see who's going to be the one who makes their way into the Super 7 here, as then as we transfer into the final 2 races out of the Super 7, who's going to make it and win the whole enchilada. And word is through the tower, the 90 is going to receive an EOL penalty for claiming responsibility of the caution. So, end of the line penalty for him. Now, folks, right now, even though we are under caution, just a nice little PSA here. There is going to be some impending doom coming here. We are in the final stage of the race. This is usually when we see the insanity come, so don't expect them to stay too wide for too long. I expect to see 3, possibly even 4 wide, as we have all the drivers who are fighting. As the lights are out on the pace car, we're less than an entire lap away from restarting the race. hopefully for the final time. Hopefully we do not see the big one tonight, but I think we're gonna see some crazy ass racing take place here real soon. Right after the green flag drops. I don't think it's gonna take long before we see a third line come out and a lot of people start trying to make some really serious moves towards the front.
Yeah, I just had to find the 00. He's on the bottom this go around in about 9th place. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes him to get to 3 wide, because you know that he likes to push it out there and see who can get to go with him. Normally he'll get a couple people at first, and they moved up there earlier in the race.
As we saw right there, a nice little check there by the Ford of Justin Levine. He went up there and inspected the whole underside of the pace car there. Oh, I saw the top of the cooler there. Mike, has he reached a 3.0 yet?
He has. He's up to a 3.33.
Oh, God, he must be into those natty daddies now. Alright, as Rick Seabrands gets set to lead us off in that 2 machine, hopefully Brett safely makes it down pit road in that pace car. I wouldn't be surprised if it's damaged before the end of the night, because he is almost at the point of death with his blood alcohol level. We get ready to get into the restart zone here, as we are right up here on the flag.
Ready, green flag,
Green flag is out, 18 laps remaining here at Talladega. Look, Brett hesitates to get into a stall there.
So far, a smooth restart.
I ain't gonna stay that way for long. You know it. I know it. We all know it. And Digger lives another lap. Wow. Look how good the crew did cleaning that grill up. Alright, as we move back to the Fox cameras, I don't want to miss any action as it happens here. It gave him about 2 laps to start spooling up here. Takes 3 or 4 to get up to top speed, but at the line, it'll be for Justin Levine again. That'll be his 8th lap of the night led. So we've seen a lot of lead changes going on. Our summary though, we've had 3 cautions, only I believe 1 of them was actual race related. I know 2 of them were. 2 of them were race related. We've got 74 in the books. We've had 25 lead changes so far. And it ain't done yet. We ain't over with seeing that happen here. And there's a wreck.
I think we're under caution here.
Big, multiple cars.
I think I saw the 12 doing a kickflip 12,000 up there in the air. Looks like that was contact between the 18 and the 12. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at it. And also some collateral, the 3 of Paul Servant. Seems like his motor's blown up, but once again, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a look. I want to see it from the 12's point of view, because he went for one hell of a ride. Alright, so here we go. This is from the point of view of the 12 car. We're going to see what happens. We know it's between the 18. Oh, wow, looks like netcode there, but that was some serious hang time. And let's look from the 80. We're going to go on board with Jim Peterson here too as well. We're actually going to go on board with him from turns 1 and 2, I believe, or this might be 3 and 4. Yeah, this is 3 and 4. So as they come around through the super stretch here in the tri-oval, we'll see what happens as they go into 1 and 2 from the onboard point here with Jim Peterson. As you see to his inside, the 3 of Paul Servant. Now, 2 cars up on the inside line, you'll see, we see a little bit of, oh, there it goes right there, and then nothing you do. Oh, wow. Now, see, this is what we see as a driver whenever it happens. You see the 88, the 96, the 3, the 20 of Michael Coe there trying to get up the hill, but can't get up there. And Jim trying to get around. The 72 also involved. So a lot of cars involved in that one. As we ride on board once again with our race leader, the 4 of Justin Levine. 14 laps remaining here at Talladega. There's still a lot of racing going on. Hopefully that was the big one that we just saw, and we can finish this one green. No, Brett is definitely getting his money's worth tonight, and whoever's sponsoring for beer is definitely getting their money's worth tonight, because we have seen a lot of the pace car out on the track. We got off to a great start. We had that one little incident that brought out our caution. Then we had another solo, or just a 2 car that had just one car go around on it, brought out our second caution. And now our third one, we've seen the big one happen here, involving at least a half a dozen cars. So unfortunately, a few drivers did have to tow. Hopefully they still have their quick repairs in order, but it definitely did appear that that was net code with the 18. All right, Cody, I'm gonna put you on the spot. What do you think we're gonna see here on this restart? Are we gonna see are we gonna see the guys that are already locked in try and hold it down, or are we gonna see all hell break loose?
Well, I was going through there right before you asked and looking at who's locked through, and there's not many people that aren't locked through, or that are locked through in the top 10 now. Your top few guys, Seabrands, Tench, and Levine, they're locked in, but after that you got David Anderson, Dwayne Cooper, and Dana, all top runners. They're not locked in yet. I'd like to see these 3. I know David and Dwayne have already broken 3 wide and was successful. We know Dana can drive. I'd like to see them take it 3 wide, and one of those 3 drivers get locked in tonight.
Well, once again, if one of the guys who already is locked into the Super 7 does win this race, it will go to the next highest scoring position driver who is not locked in. Right now, looking at it, I believe it's going to be between the 44 of David Anderson, the 8 of Dana Osborne, the 16 of Chris Brown, Christopher Bray, excuse me. It's a long night here. And I do believe it might be, I know it's not Dwayne because he parked out of the Fast 15. And then we saw Thomas Labar win and get locked into the Elite 11. I'm not sure who the last one is. Either way, it is going to be an interesting restart as the lights are out. The field is doubled back up. We're less than half a lap away from hopefully restarting this race for the last time. And with that being said, let's do a final, or hopefully final, blood alcohol level test on Brett Bodine. What is it, Mike?
Well, I got some sad news. He passed out, and his brother Todd has taken over the car.
Oh boy, Brett Bodine is gone pickled. Is he catatonic?
I'm sure he's passed out.
He might be dead, but we're not going to check on him because Todd took over.
I would rather have Jeff. Todd's a little bit more of an ass. He's got that Eli Manning face. You don't know whether he's got to take a dump or if he already took a dump. Anyway, we got the 4 of Justin Levine, who's going to lead us back to the green flag here. Bobby Tinch in the 66 restarting on the outside. We can still see that door donut there on the 44. David Anderson. As Todd makes his way down pit road. Once again, we're going to get led into the restart box and get this underway, whereas we're sitting here up in the flag stand. They're inside the zone.
Ready, green flag.
Green flag is out. We are back underway. 11 laps to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. As we see, I believe that's the 96 there down on the apron, motor blown. Yep, that would be the 96 of Roddy Klein. He is blown up there on the backstretch. Meanwhile, out front, we see the 66 of Bobby Tinch has been able to clear the 4 of Justin Levine, so that'll give him the advantage on the low line. Meanwhile, we see once again the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. marching his way back up through the field again. As we go back up here towards the front, we see it's going to be a battle between 66, the 4 and the 2 on the inside versus the 44, the 8 and the 00 there on the outside. Dwayne has made his way back up to 6th position after being down a lap earlier in the race. A great recovery by Dwayne to make it back up inside the top 10 and potentially now make his way into the top 5. As that time by the 66 easily your lap leader. That's his 2nd lap of the night.
Dwayne's going to drop down, leaving the 44 and the 8 by himself as the 48 comes up and helps him, with Jorgensen in tow.
Well, we are down to single-digit laps remaining here at Talladega, so now anything is possible.
Everybody's going to be shuffling.
There's 3 wide there in the back here as we see the backpack. We get the 3 of Paul Servant back there. We get the 88 of Gregory Thompson. And the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer. They're 3 wide. But up front, it's going to be the 4 of Justin Levine. So Justin was able to squeak the lap there. Here a little bit of some 3 wide action going on here in the back of the pack. The lead pack, and then we see this group here, and then we see another. There's So we've got what we traditionally see here at Talladega or Daytona, or whenever we see these guys run. We see usually about 3 separate packs, as it'll be 6 laps to go when they cross the line this time. And it appears that the 2 of Rick Seabrand's has also been able to clear down there on the low groove, so that's going to open the door up for the 00, who is being pushed by the 4 of Justin Levine. So let's see if Dwayne can get up there and get a lap in here. As right now we're seeing that he has not led a lap at all tonight. Now the 66 of Bobby Tinch and the 2 of Rick Seabrand's are both teammates, so they expect them to stay together through the remainder of this race.
As well as the 81 of Jorgensen and the 8 of Dana.
Yep, and further back we could see there the 3 of Paul Servant stuck behind the 18 of Gary Champion. That would be the 3rd and final member of Southern Thunder. And then also behind the 4, the 44 of David Anderson, he is teammates with the 00 of Dwayne Cooper for the Drive for Autism Motorsports. The laps winding down in a hurry here, and we're going to see who's going to bring it home. See if that 44 can get up a little bit closer to the back of that 4 car and give him a little bit of help to get Dwayne around the 66. It looks like the 24 has joined the line, as well as we see the 54, the 58, the 18, and the 3 mired back there a little bit further. But now with that 4th car there, they're able to get up there a little bit better, but still not enough to take it away from Bobby as he leads his 6th lap. As we see the 2 there on the apron. Great job recovering it there by the 2 of Rick Seabrand's. And now we see the run there. Justin gives Dwayne a good push. Dwayne's able to clear the 66, but now we're going to see 3 on 2 as the 24, no, now 24 is going to go up to the high side. We see the 81. So now we're going to have an interesting mix now. We've got the 00 there out front. He should hopefully lead this lap here. This will put 1 in the books for Dwayne tonight, but he might get cheated out of it by the 4 as they come to the line. Justin Levine gonna lead that lap, so still gonna hold down Dwayne.
Caution, caution.
And that is gonna give us, more than likely, our green-white checker, because that was between the 8 of Dana Osborne and the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach. So we're gonna go ahead and look back and see what happened there. All right, so we're going back a little bit on this. We're focusing right there on that psychedelic paint scheme of the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach. Now, the contact is going to be from that number 8 Goodwrench Chevy right there. You can see Welzenbach already has a little bit of damage to the right side of that spoiler, but just contact. He just came up, got into him there, and unfortunately, Matt got the shit into the stick there. As Matt Kenseth said, it sometimes you're the ball, sometimes you're the bat. It sucks to be the ball, and undoubtedly that time around it was the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach who went for a hell of a ride there. Meanwhile, as we go back up to the front of the field here, at the time the caution came out, the 4 of Justin Levine was once again our race leader, but we are going to be doing a green and white checker here, as we would be seeing the end here. Now that is the reason why you still see 12 laps remaining. There's 10 laps allocated for green-white checkers, and Mike, you'd be able to tell me this, seeing how Cody's getting his cherry popped tonight. When's the last time we actually saw the green-white checker in action? I know it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been quite a long time. It's going to be exciting to see this. I mean, it's great that Dwayne does this, puts this on, so that these guys can hopefully, keyword hopefully, finish under green.
Oh, trust me, I've got anything on my body that can be crossed without hurting too bad, crossed, that they can get this thing refired on a single green-white checker, restart and race it out, and see if they can do it without having to slow down, restart, and do this thing over and over again, because eventually we'll run out of laps to be able to do green-white checkers, and the race will end under caution. But hopefully, like you said, we don't have to see that happen again, and it has been a long time since we have seen a green-white checker restart here, so it's definitely going to be interesting. So right now, this has got to be probably one of the more stressful moments as a driver, knowing that you're going to be facing, okay, we're getting the green, next time by we're going to get the white, and then the checkered flag. So you've really, really, really got to rely on your teammates if you have them by you. You've got to make sure that you get a Jeff Gordon at Martinsville restart of a lifetime here, and you've got to make sure that you stay clean. So you see the Ford dropping down to cool his tires off a little bit. Now, also you could be running down the marbles there, picking shit up on your tires, but I'd take that gamble over as being up on a hot track surface. We knew the track temperature itself was 103 degrees, but as these cars drive around on it, with this being a super speedway, it's not as bad as, say, like if we were doing the Food City 500 at Bristol, where an abrasive surface, and with it being such a short track and 43 cars in the NASCAR field running on it, there's not a lot of time that track does not see hot tires on it. So the track temperature will actually build up over the race. And that's why you see the corners get rubbered in. The hotter the track gets, the greasier the tires get, and the more rubber it translates off of the tire onto the racing surface. And then when, in like the odd events, when we get rain delays, you see the track go from a fairly heavily rubbered in state to what we call a green state, where there is no rubber on the racing surface, and that often leads to some of the most chaotic and hectic racing that you see in NASCAR, and a lot of times a lot of wrecks, because there is no grip, no mechanical grip on the track. It's 100% wipe clean. So anything that happened from the Camping World Truck Series race, the Xfinity Series race, any of the practices, the qualifying, it's all gone. But luckily, iRacing does not have rain in here, because that would, well, the only thing that would be cool to see would probably be on the road end, especially day to night transitions, especially if, for like the Coca-Cola 600, we know that race starts during the day, ends at night. Same thing with the Pepsi. Hell, I don't know, it's still the Pepsi 400 in the summertime. I think Coke bought the rights to that crap too. But see Daytona, where you start in the afternoon and finish at night. And once again, to show you guys the extreme measures some of these guys go to. Listen to that. That is the sound of silence. Oh, and then he fires it back up and shuts it right back off. I'm going to slap you for saying that. Even if it was David Drainer from Disturbed doing it, it's still a horrible song. Mike, slap Cody. Slap him with a fish. Ooh, that looked like it hurt. I wish you guys could have saw that. That was a big ass salmon that Mike just picked up and just completely bitch slapped Cody with. He might not be able to talk the rest of the race. Who knows? He might have lost a tooth or something.
No, it's quite tasty.
No, was it? Sushi?
It was. Just about as tasty as these big old Franks I got down here.
Why the hell are you eating concessions food? You know we get the good stuff up here in the luxury booth.
You know I'm not used to that sort of thing.
This is why we don't take you nice places. But, Mike, we are still on for Red Lobster after the race.
You consider that a nice place?
It's about as nice as you're going to get for Talladega.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The lights are out on the pace car. We are going to get set here for our green-white checker restart here. Looking inside the top 10 here, we've got the 4 of Justin Levine, the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, the 66 of Bobby Tinch, the 44 of David Anderson, the 2 of Rick Seabrands, the 24 of Corey Silva, the 54 of Chris Akers, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., the 80 of PJ O'Leary, and the 18 of Gary Champion rounding out the top 10. Now remember, Justin, Bobby, Rick, they are all locked in already to the Super 7. So if one of them were to win the race, it's not going to, they'll win the race, but that's not going to affect anything. It will go to the highest scoring driver who is fighting for that last spot in the Super 7. All right, now we can see the pace car is doing a little bit better driving now than Tabodan. And Tabodan doesn't drink as bad as Jeff does, or Brett, or all of them together. Todd's just the angry little man on Fox Sports or MSNBC Sports, whatever the hell channel he reciprocated onto, because I know he's gotten fired from like 5 or 6 of them. So as the 4 of Justin Levine brings the field in tow out of turn 4 here, we're going to see that pace car drop down on pit road for hopefully the last time, and we're going to see who's got the guts and the glory to bring home the victory. Right now, you know, the 66 and the 4, they really don't care. They've already got locked into the next round. I think we're going to see the 66 and the 4 try and take another win here, but don't count that 00 out. The pace car is down the way. Green flag is out. It'll be green flag. Next time by will be the white flag, and then we will see the checkered flag. Provided nobody dies. Now they have to make it, the most important part, they have to make it halfway down the backstretch on the white flag lap for it to count. If the caution does come out after that, that's race in the books. As now we see the 00 getting a push from the 66. He's got the 2 of Rick Seabrands behind him, as well as the 54 of Chris Akers. We can see the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., the 24 of Corey Silva, the 44 of David Anderson, and the 4 out front. We also see the 80 of PJ O'Leary there.
With the way these cars are set up and how long it takes them to get up to speed, you really have to stay tucked up behind somebody pushing for those first lap, probably a lap and 3/4 of another lap before you ever even think about taking a move, so you do have that speed.
And right there, as we're in the final lap, Dwayne finally gets a lap led in the books. Is he going to be able to make it, though? After crossing the line as the leader and getting a 1 lap lead, here we go. We're going to see that 3rd line form. We might even see a 4th one as we see the 2 of Rick Seabrands. He's got the 58 of Jim Peterson with him, as well as the 48 of Jimmy Coleman. Got the 00, the 66, the 54 in that center lane, the 4, the 44, the 24 on the inside lane. Don't think we're going to see that 3rd group really play a factor here, but we can't rule anything out. Is the 00 going to have what it takes to bring it to victory lane? Right now he's got the advantage on the 4 at the line. It's going to be the 00, Dwayne Cooper.
Caution, caution. You want something to drink? Yes, he'll take a Captain Morgan and Diet Coke.
All right, so folks, after not really seeing much out of Dwayne the entire race, he is going to bring home the win tonight here at Talladega. Now, he might correct me, but as I remember, he parked his ride and gave up his Fast 15 slot, and Thomas LeVar filled that. brought his way into the Elite 11. So it's going to be interesting when we interview Dwayne tonight. So we've got our interviews tonight will be the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, the 4 of Justin Levine, and the 66 of Bobby Tin. So I'm pretty sure when we talk to Bobby, he's always got a level head, and he's like the cool, calm, collected driver. Justin, he's laid back for the most part, but Dwayne, I can't wait for Dwayne's interview. This is going to be some crazy stuff here. As we're working to get all 3 of our drivers brought in, we're going to go ahead and bring up our 3rd place finisher, the 66 of Bobby Tinch. All right, Bobby, you brought her home 3rd tonight. That looked like one hell of a last lap. Walk us through that green-white checker restart.
There we go. Man, that was pretty wild there at the end. You know, I told Dwayne that I'd stay on him there. You know, I'm after getting a good points night, and it wound up ending pretty good. I tried to stay up front all night. Track position was horrible. It made it so tough to pass and try to come up through the field. I got stuck back one time, and I just couldn't pass.
Well, I know racing with y'all on Monday night, it was crazy, and tonight was no exception. We saw some great 3 wide. I think we even saw 4 wide there on the backstretch. I know the one thing that probably kills drivers the most is all the pacing that we did tonight. That always plays hell, especially when we're out in our 2.5+ mile track, having to do that for 5 laps at a time. How are the arms feeling?
I mean, it gets pretty nerve-wracking at times, you know, especially in these cars. They move around quite a bit. You almost can't even touch in these cars. If you do, you're either spinning someone or getting spun. So you really got to be on your toes the whole race.
You brought her home 3rd. Good points, nice. As you said, getting a track position was very hard to do tonight. You brought her home 3rd. Is there anybody out there that you'd like to thank?
I mean, of course, Dwayne and Jim for putting this series on. Great place to come run with these guys. We got a good group of guys in here. Then my teammates, Rick and Tom, we work together really good. And you guys do a hell of a job up there. Enjoy watching the replays.
We love putting them on, and you are locked in to the Super 7, so be great to see you. Hopefully, once again interviewing you, but next time doing it from Victory Lane next week. But once again, congratulations on that 3rd place finish, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
That was our 3rd place finisher, the 66 of Bobby Tinch, who is already locked into the Super 7. Next, we are going to bring in the 4 of Justin Levine, who is also locked in.
Justin, you got us up here in the booth?
Yes, I do.
You finished 2nd this week. Not quite as good as it was last week with the win. Can you walk us through those last few laps?
Oh man, I can't be grateful enough that I was able to finish up here, but that was one hell of a race. I was hoping for David to be able to push me. I knew he had damage from the first incident when me and him got involved, but Dwayne and Bobby just had one hell of a run. They blew right past us.
Yeah, and you've been up front all race. I was rooting for you there at the end. I actually was picking you for the win, and they just was hooked up like nothing else.
Oh man, what a run they had out of 4. I knew I was in trouble the minute I didn't see David on my bumper.
Well, is there anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
I want to thank you guys. You guys do such an excellent job. I love going back and watching the broadcast. I want to thank my teammates and Dwayne and Jim for putting this on for us.
Well, you're locked into the Super 7, so that's got to feel great for you and a good point night for you. We look forward to seeing you next race.
Thank you.
All right, that was our 2nd place finisher, the 4 of Justin Levine. Now we're going to bring in the boss man himself. All right, boss man, you did it. You brought home the W tonight. How's it feel?
It feels good, Art. That was a lot of fun racing, man. That high line did not want to work until the end, man. I started to go down on that white flag and drop in front of Justin, but then I said, no, we got more speed on the outside. I didn't want to give it to Bobby.
Now, that was the first time that we have seen a green-white checker in a long time, and honestly, I thought everybody was going to die on it, but amazingly, everybody held their shit together, and we saw an amazing finish there. I think you guys were 4 wide on the back stretch at one point, and you tried to go 4 wide on the front stretch again towards the line, but that middle groove ended up paying off as you were able to snake it away from the 4.
Yeah, I had, you know, I was trying to get him right before that come out. I think I would have got him if we would have finished normal, but it come down to that green-white checker, and Bobby told me he was going to push as hard as he could, so I was just trying to stay out there and pull it off, and I got this anti-monkey butt paste Chevrolet in the victory lane, so all them butt hurt screw rounders are in the back.
With that being said, with you winning the race and knowing that you are out of contention for it, who all now is going or punched the final ticket into the Super 7?
I look honestly for Justin to be there. I look for Paul Savant to end up being there, and the way Rick ran tonight, it'll probably be Rick. That'll probably be the 3 that end up making it to that next round, my pick anyway.
All right, well, there's no better way to, as the season's drawing to a close, we've got 2 more races after this. You finally bring home a W and we get an interview in Victory Lane. Who are you going to thank?
This is my 2nd win. What are you talking about, Art? Where the hell you been all
I'm
season?
trying to mess with you a little bit.
Yeah, the thing about it is, Art, if I wouldn't have pulled myself out of it, I'd be locked into the championship 3 right now.
Hey, don't you feel dumb about that now?
Yeah, I do, especially after Tom Mark took my spot and won the next race.
That definitely was interesting. Your sub ends up winning the race.
Yep. It was a lot of fun tonight. You know, some guys got upset toward the end, but, you know, when you get to the end like that, you got to start forcing issue and start making moves and, you know, making things happen. First part of the race was really good. End of it is a normal thing that you see guys trying to get there and start panicking, especially the guys that had the asterisk by their name because they ain't got but 1 more week to get the points.
That's especially the point to hit on, too, knowing that this is the Eliminator week and all that. To get locked in, you've really got to keep your head on a swivel with only having that 1 quick fix, the 3 stages, the mandatory pit stops. There's a lot of things, and then couple it with a fixed setup and having to work with teammates, and then knowing that your teammate is not always going to necessarily be there if it means he can get the win too. There's a lot of variables that come into play in order for every week to stay consistent, as we've seen with Southern Thunder, as we saw last season with Radical Racing when Bobby took the championship. There's a lot of shit that you got to make sure you've got locked down before you even get in the race car and start the race every week. But nonetheless, great show as always. You guys never cease to amaze us with the 3-4 wide racing. Tonight was relatively clean. We only had a few instances, and we got to see that elusive green-white checker finish, and you brought home the win.
Yeah, and the thing you got to keep in mind too, Art, is me and the 44 were trying our best to finish in the top 5 because we have the team championship that everybody's running for too. And then you got guys like Pondo Cole that's still running for that 16th place. It actually pays out more than if you finish in 2nd or 3rd in the final standings.
Great.
So, you know, there's a lot of guys racing for other spots out there.
And there's definitely a lot more reasons for there to be some butthurt drivers, which is why I see you switched over to that car now. It makes total sense.
Yep, and I'm giving everybody discounts. Go there and put Cyber on Anti-Monkey Butts website, and if they don't give you a discount, send them a thing and tell them you've seen the sponsor win a race. Maybe then they'll give you one. If not, just use some baby powder.
Well, you sealed the deal. You brought home the win. Any final words before we cut you loose?
Nah, good job up there, Art. You know, glad I got to talk to you at the end of the race about winning one. You know, that means that somebody wasn't here to jinx me, unfortunately, but good job.
Well, once again, congratulations on the win, and we will see you next week.
And I got to thank Jim Peterson and the Homes Now Not Later. Check them out. they're helping out the homeless. If you can afford $1 or $5, whatever, please donate.
Yep, we've got the links to their Patreon and everything down in the description of every broadcast. So if you guys have even a dollar makes a huge difference when it goes to a great charity to try and eliminate the homeless, as Dwayne pointed out. But once again, congratulations, boss man, and we will see you next week.
10-4, buddy.
All right, guys, that was one hell of a finish right there. Any final words from y'all before we wrap this thing up?
It was great racing out there. Unfortunate that the last few cautions that happened took out a lot of good drivers. But overall, I'm glad to see the double zero in the winner's circle, and look forward to next week.
Yeah, I'll just add in, that was a lot of fun to watch. Those guys are they're nuts. I mean, I say it every week. It shows the skill level these guys have, and the ability Dwayne has to put on a great league, and it's great to watch. From a broadcasting standpoint, it's so much fun to call.
Now the final question I have to ask before I wrap this up is: did you ever go over and check on Brett? Is he dead or is he alive?
I kicked him once, and he didn't really move, but I don't really feel like calling anyone.
Did he make any noises?
He made like a slight grunting sound.
No, he's still alive. He's good. All right, so with that nagging question out of the way, that's going to wrap things up for us here tonight at Talladega. Once again, the 00 Dwayne Cooper with his second win of the season in the books. The 4 of Justin Levine second, and the 66 last season's champion Bobby Tinch is going to bring it home third tonight for everybody here at Cyber Racing Association. Homes now, not later, and Die Hard Live TV. Thank you guys for tuning in, and don't forget to return next Saturday, as we will be, I believe, at Daytona with the open trucks. So once again, for everybody out there watching, thank you for your support, showing up week in and week out. Without you guys and without Dwayne's help for putting on this great league, we would not be here doing these things and enjoying ourselves as much as we do, and allowing you guys to see what we get to see on a weekly basis. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next week.